the first thing that we're going to talk about is something that is close to your heart.
Yes.
And it's a musical scene that came out... Would you say it came out around about the same time as grunge? Oh,
they sort of evolved kind of at the same time. I mean, they had their
It was their own movement.
Right, it was their own movement, but they were sort of parallel. But Riot Grrl took place started a little before. But we're talking like I mean, when I say a little before, I mean, you know.
Well, it also correct me if I'm wrong. It also came out of the Seattle music scene, because Seattle in the early '90s, the music scene was on fire. Right. Better than anything that the California music scene was putting on.
Oh, God, yes.
And whatever REM was doing.
Right. Because
up until the late 80s, the REM was the traveling musical act that everybody on the underground scene enjoyed. Right. You know? But, so, you know, it was a combination of punk, feminism, sociopolitical, came out of Olympia, Washington. Mm-hmm. It was born, you know, the actual music itself was kind of indie, lo-fi, alternative, punk. Yeah. You know, just that whole, I won't say smorgasbord, but that whole melting pot of, you know, of what you would qualify as, you know, a scene. Right. There's not just one thing going on there. Basically, let me pull up my glasses here for a minute because I have something written down. It was serving as an inspiration for which women could express themselves in the same way that men have been doing all along, said Liz Naylor. Yes. You know, the movement was considered the catalyst of third wave feminism. The songs that were in the movement by the different, you know, bands usually covered a myriad of uncomfortable to the mainstream, you know, topics. And when I say mainstream, I mean like you're coming out of 80s. You're coming out of Reagan. Right. So when you're coming out of, you know, Reaganism and Thatcherism, and you're talking about, you know, the songs that you're listening to are including topics such as domestic and sexual assault, classism, racism, patriarchy, empowerment, anarchy. And we're talking about more than, you know, anarchy in the UK, Sex Pistol kind of stuff. We're talking about, you know, like the whole Ask For It EP by Hole. I mean, You can't... The Sex Pistols were about as punk as Taylor Swift. This is true. They were as manufactured and as image-based as all the other things that they claimed to not enjoy. Yes. And, you know, if John Lydon is listening, which... I don't care if he is or he isn't. He can
Lydon sold out a long time ago.
Lydon sold out. You want to talk to Glenn Matlock about that.
Right, you know? Right. But the scene also appeared in the fanzine culture, as well as, you know, political movements and political and social activism. Yeah. And fanzines. I had a zine once upon a time. Yes, I did. And I had a Windows 3.1 computer, and I typed it all up, and it was fabulous. And I think that's the same computer that at some point we gave to our oldest, who deleted DOS off of it when she was 5. But if that's not punk rock, I don't know what is. So there you go.
So what is a zine?
Well, a zine is a derivative from magazine. It's basically just a homemade magazine with little articles and ditties and whatnot that you can, usually about scenes and happenings and album reviews and lyric breakdowns and all that kind of stuff.
So a little NME type of deal.
Yes.